All right, buckle up. Imagine your AI assistant, the one you chat with.
Yeah.
Imagine it just seamlessly working across all your favorite apps, like drafting documents, updating tasks, maybe even processing payment, all just based on a simple conversation you have with it. It sounds a bit like science fiction, doesn't it?
It really does. But it's getting closer, right?
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. Anthropic's new integrations for Claude.
Ah, okay. Anthropic.
Yeah, forget those sort of isolated chatbots. We're talking about maybe an AI co-pilot that's actually embedded in your digital life.
And it's fascinating because Anthropic, well, they're generally known for being quite careful, quite thoughtful about AI safety.
Right, that's their whole thing.
So this move, launching integrations to connect Claude directly with, everyday apps, it's pretty significant.
Definitely. So we're going to unpack what these actually are.
Yeah, how they work, the tech behind them.
And why this is potentially a really big deal for AI usability.
And we should also touch on their advanced research feature as well. It ties in.
Good point. So to really get our heads around this, we've been looking at, Anthropic's own announcements, obviously.
The official stuff.
Plus some tech news articles, even a little peek at the developer docs to see how it fits together.
Right, get under the hood a bit.
Our mission here really is to cut through the jargon for you.
Yeah, give you the essentials on these Claude integrations.
We want you to see how it might, boost your own productivity, maybe spark some aha moments about where AI is heading.
And hopefully leave you feeling informed, maybe a little excited about what's possible now.
Okay, so let's maybe start with some first principles thinking. What's the fundamental problem here?
Well, if you think about it, AI, even really smart AI like Claude, has often been kind of stuck, right? Siloed.
Siloed, how so?
Like, it's brilliant at understanding language, generating text, but it's separate from the tools where we actually do our work.
Okay.
Like having this super smart consultant who gives amazing advice.
But they can't actually open your company's spreadsheet or update your project plan.
Exactly. That's the disconnect, the friction between talking to the AI and then, actually using its output in your workflow.
Right. You ask a question, get an answer, then you have to copy, paste, switch apps.
It's clunky. So these integrations, fundamentally, they're trying to bridge that gap.
Okay. So moving Claude from just giving information to actually doing things.
Precisely. Making the flow seamless. No more manual copy-pasting if the integration can handle it directly.
It kind of makes you think of Tony Stark in Iron Man.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, Jarvis wasn't just a voice, right? He was plugged into everything. The suits, the house, the lab.
Totally integrated.
Yeah. And that integration made Tony way more effective. It feels like Claude integrations are aiming for that kind of deep assistance within our own digital tools.
That's actually a really good analogy. And the tech that enables this for Claude is something they call the Model Context Protocol, MCP.
MCP. Okay, sounds technical.
It is a bit, but think of it like a common language, a standard way for Claude to securely talk to other apps through their APIs.
APIs, those are the doorways for apps to share data.
Exactly. So MCP sets the rules for how Claude asks for information or tells an app to do something and how the app responds so they understand each other.
Gotcha. So Claude isn't just guessing. It's connecting to live data in, say, my project manager or my documents.
That's the idea, real-time information contextual understanding.
So we're talking about things like Claude could draft a page in Confluence.
Potentially, yeah. Or update a task in Jira.
Trigger something in Zapier. Handle, simple payments.
Those are the kinds of possibilities they're opening up, all from that conversational interface.
Wow. Okay. And you mentioned the advanced research feature.
Right. So alongside integrations, they've boosted Claude's research skills. It already had web search for paid users, but now it can also search across your connected integrations and even your Google Workspace if you connect that.
Whoa. So it can look through my Google Drive docs too.
If you give it permission, yes. So it can pull together information from the web, your internal docs, your project tools, all into one detailed report with citations.
That sounds incredibly useful. Like ask it to research a competitor.
And it checks the web and your internal strategy docs and maybe relevant project timelines.
Exactly.
All at once.
Yeah, the potential for complex information gathering is pretty significant there. These research sessions can be quite long and deep.
Okay, this all sounds amazing for productivity. Super powerful.
It really does. But that power, that interconnectedness, it also means we need to put our critical thinking hats on.
Right. Time for the flip side. Because integrating AI this deeply, it opens up possibilities, sure, but also raises questions. Security, for one.
Absolutely. It's like, remember Neo in The Matrix?
Yeah, downing the red pill.
He didn't just accept the world, right? He questioned it.
Yeah.
He needed to understand the rules, the dangers.
Okay, I see where you're going. So we need to question these integrations. What are the critical points? Well, data security is probably top of the list. You're giving an AI access to potentially sensitive stuff across different apps.
So how is that handled? How do we know our data is safe?
Anthropic stresses that Claude only interacts with content you already have permission to see. Your existing permissions are enforced.
Okay, so it can't see files I can't see myself.
Correct. And for work stuff, access is often limited to private projects, and conversations using that synced content aren't shareable. They're building in safeguards.
That's good. But what about errors? If Claude can trigger actions like updating Jira or using Zapier, what if it messes up?
That's a valid concern. User control and transparency are key here. Setting up an integration involves authentication, granting specific permissions. You choose what Claude can do.
So you have to explicitly say, yes, Claude, you can access my Jira.
Exactly. And Anthropic advises, especially for custom integrations using that MCP protocol, only connect trusted sources and really look closely at the permissions you're granting.
So safeguards exist, but the user still needs to be, well, aware and careful.
Definitely. It's not fully autonomous magic. There's user responsibility involved.
Okay. Now, thinking bigger picture, how does this stack up against what other big AI players are doing? Google, OpenAI.
Good question. This puts Anthropic more directly in competition with things like Google's Gemini actions or OpenAI's ChatGPT plugins, or GPTs as they call them now.
Right, their app stores or integration features.
Exactly. But Anthropic seems to be betting on a more open approach with their model context protocol. They're hoping others adopt it.
So instead of a closed system like maybe OpenAI's approach?
They're championing an open standard. The idea is that this could lead to more flexibility, a wider range of integrations from different partners, not just ones Anthropic builds or approves directly.
Kind of like building a universal adapter versus everyone having their own proprietary plugs?
That's a decent way to put it, yeah. They want to foster a diverse ecosystem.
And is it easy for developers to build these integrations?
They claim it can be quite fast, potentially just, 30 minutes or so using their tools if the API is straightforward.
Wow, okay. That suggests we could see a lot of integrations pop up pretty quickly then.
That seems to be the hope. Rapid growth of the connected ecosystem.
Okay, let's try and summarize then. So Claude integrations using this MCP thing.
A model context protocol, yeah.
Let Claude connect to apps we use daily. Jira, Confluence, Zapier, potentially many more.
Right, moving it beyond just a chatbot.
It becomes more of an integrated collaborator. You can get real-time info, trigger actions, use our own private data if we allow it.
Exactly. And the advanced research feature builds on that, letting it conduct really deep investigations across all those connected sources.
And for you listening, the payoff is potentially streamlining workflows across different apps.
Gaining insights from data spread across different places.
And just generally boosting efficiency, like that idea of drafting a Confluence page from Jira updates.
Or triggering a zap based on an email, making AI less isolated, more practical day to day.
Okay. Here's where I'm going to go out on a limb. A bold prediction time.
Ooh, okay. Let's hear it.
Based on this move by Anthropic, or just the general trend we're seeing, I predict that within, say, the next 2 years, most major productivity software, your project managers, your document editors, whatever, they will have deeply integrated AI assistants built in.
Deeply integrated, okay.
Yeah, AI that doesn't just respond, but proactively anticipates what you need, automates complex stuff across different apps, basically changing the whole way we interact with our digital work.
That's bold, but honestly, it feels plausible. Given the pace right now, that kind of deep integration seems like the direction things are heading, a fundamental shift.
So that leads to a final thought then.
Yeah.
Now that Claude and presumably other AIs are getting their toolboxes.
Yeah, access to all these apps.
What completely new ways of working might emerge? What stuff that feels tedious right now could just become effortless?
That's the really exciting question, isn't it? Beyond just doing current tasks faster.
Exactly. So maybe think about your own work. Where are the bottlenecks? Where do you waste time switching apps or copying data?
And then imagine, what if an AI co-pilot connected to all those tools could just smooth it all out or even suggest entirely new approaches?
What could that reshape for your day? Something to mull over.